Hizuru confirms his suspicion that Shinpei is a time traveler. She then wonders if Shinpei knew her brother and believes that the reveal wasn't made by her. Hizuru learns from Shinpei's disclosure that she can incorporate this into the plot of her subsequent novel. Due to the swampman's resemblance to the shadows in the book, Shinpei believes she believed him. Hizuru explains that her family was killed by a shadow 14 years ago. Notwithstanding, she can't let him know more, as though the shadows duplicate Shinpei. They will get familiar with her mysterious. Jinjiro asserts that shadows continue to target Hizuru and families. Shinpei is aware of the reason he, Ushio, and Mio are being targeted, and he wonders about Alan. However, Hizuru claims that she killed his shadow. Jinjiro explains that they can no longer copy you once your shadow is killed. They will never be able to imitate Jinjiro again thanks to this immunity. Shinpei asks Hizuru about his plan after she promises to assist him. Shinpei says that they only have 54 hours. But he wants to help Mio and get rid of her shadow first. Hizuru is in agreement, but he says that there is a problem first, and Shinpei thinks it is the Kobayakawas. However, he saw Shiori's shadow at the festival, so Hizuru would not be able to get rid of Shiori and wants to go with her. Hizuru transforms into Ryanosuke in front of Kobe Mart and listens to Shinpei and Hizuru's earlier conversation. That's because Ryanosuke doesn't have Hizuru's memories, as Jinjiro explains. Ryanosuke rings at the doorbell and Asako opens. Ryanosuke makes sense of he brings trinkets and Shiori covertly advises Asako to give her access. After that, Asako introduces her family, including her daughter Shiori and husband Tatsuo. Ryanosuke smashes Asako's head as soon as he enters by opening his luggage and taking out a hammer. He points out that since the other two will know he knows how to kill them and keep a safe distance if he immediately pursues their shadows, he must eliminate all three at once. Shinpei inquires as to whether Hizuru possesses a dual personality. But Jinjiro responds that he is close but not quite. Ryanosuke is then attacked by Tatsuo, who also hits his head. Shinpei is informed by Jinjiro that if he enters, the reason Shiori escaped might change, and Hizuru is currently attempting to determine how she did it. After seeing Asako's death, Ryanosuke proceeded to smash her shadow and kill her after avoiding her attack. Jinjiro tells Shinpei that Ryanosuke was Hizuru's twin brother, but that she found him dead 14 years ago. He was covered in bite marks all over his body, giving the impression that he was bitten by a wild dog. However, the bites served as a distraction from the strangle marks on his neck. They cremated Ryanosuke's body because no one believed Hizuru that this was a murder. Hizuru, on the other hand, shatters Shiori's shadow. Shiori takes harm, yet figures out how to isolate a piece of her shadow encompassing the sledge and gets by with wounds. Ryanosuke is then strangled by Shiori, who remarks that he knows how to kill shadow and is dangerous. Shiori wonders if Ryanosuke is even human because he remarks that he moves faster than the shadows. She is instructed by Ryanosuke to imitate him and ask herself. Ryanosuke manages to grab a pair of chopsticks, but as Shiori's shadow falls on him, he stabs himself to strike the shadow. On the third floor, Shiori manages to escape. Ryanosuke informs Jinjiro via text that Asako and Tatsuo are dead, however, Shiori went to the third floor, so Shinpei might be right. Plan B is implemented, and Jinjiro procures nail guns for Shinpei and him. Ryanosuke enters Shiori's room on the third floor and informs Jinjiro via text that she was able to escape from the window. He tells her that it's pointless because if she copies him, she won't be able to move for a few seconds. He senses her presence behind him. Shiori flees from the window and retreats into her shadow, realizing she cannot imitate Hizuru. After that, Jinjiro begins to shoot her with his nail gun. Shiori is able to get past him after he hits her twice. Shinpei emerges just as she is about to flee, charges at Shiori, and he knocks her to the ground. Shiori bites him, but Jinjiro shoots 3 nails at her shadow, stopping them from moving, telling Shinpei it's safe to let her go because she won't be able to escape now. Ryanosuke discovers for the first time that pins prevent them from escaping their 3-dimensional body. When Ryanosuke asks Shiori if she was the one who killed Ushio, Shiori responds with a grin and explains that because she is different from the other shadows, they chose Plan B. Shinpei becomes enraged and inquires about why Ushio and their objective. Shiori claims that the end will arrive this summer and that she will be leaving with her family. She claims that while she was copied by a shadow, she also copied all of Shiori's thoughts and memories. making her the actual Shirori at the moment. Shun then, at that point, requests that Shinpei become a shadow like her and be her older sibling. Shinpei barely holds his fist as she laughs. According to Ryanosuke, if you talk to a shadow for too long, you can only be misled. So he smashes Shirori and kills her. Shinpei recalls the theme of Swamp Man and wonders what Ryanosuke thinks about the distinction between the copy and the original. Jinjiro reveals that he discussed Ryanosuke with Shinpei. After that, Ryanosuke introduces himself as Hizuru's brother Ryanosuke Minamikata. He says that Hizuru wrote the books, but he shows up when she has to deal with things she doesn't like meetings or interviews. He assumes Shinpei had read some of her books, and Jinjiro admits that he is a huge fan. Ryanosuke is surprised because Hizuru didn't mention this in her notes, so he thinks she's shy. At that moment, he punches himself and raises his fist. After that, Hizuru takes over, stating that she is not shy and is not concealing anything. But that she decided to intervene because they were deviating from the topic at hand. She advises him not to falter in front of the shadows and to postpone his philosophical discussion until after everything has been completed. She doubts his ability to eliminate Mio's shadow. They exchange phone numbers as they head toward Kofian's house. Shinpei is instructed by Hizuru to behave normally and watch until the shadow appears. Shinpei sees Mio holding a bloody knife as he enters the Kofian residence. He is shocked, but when she sees that she is cutting onions, she breaks down in tears and wounds herself. Shinpei finds it odd because she has never cooked before. However, Mio explains that she decided to do something to cheer him up because he seemed down. Shinpei decides to continue making curry by stepping on her shadow with the knife to verify that she is human. Shinpei wonders if Mio is that hungry when she goes to wash her face. However, as he turns, he sees Ushio, who confirms that Mio is hungry.